You know what they say. Where we dropping, boys?
Tilted Towers. This is a podcast.
Yep. And we're gonna talk about Fortnite.
We
Not
love
sure.
Fortnite. We love Fortnite. No. No Fortnite.
No Fortnite. We're gonna talk about stuff. The Suicide Squad trailer.
Suicide Squad trailer. Attack on Biden. Attack on Biden. Wow. Attack on Titan. The season finale is coming out in about 20 minutes.
The mid-season finale.
Mid-season finale.
And we've got horrible news that it's most likely seeming like we're not getting the second half till the end of 2022.
Allegedly, the dates do seem to be murky. The details about the dates. Definitely at a minimum 8 months, was that?
Yeah, I think the calculation, that would be though if that is winter of 2021.
Yeah, so it's either 8 months or a year and 8 months.
Or, just came to me right now, January of 2022 is still technically winter.
That's what.
Is that the argument that's going on in the chat right now?
Yeah. So
I didn't even think about it that way. I was thinking about we were debating the start of winter.
Yeah, you also got to remember that we live in the northern hemisphere.
Yep.
And so does Japan. So the winter resides in December and January, whereas in the southern hemisphere, winter resides in June, July, and August.
Which is, so we know that's not June, July, or August.
It's definitely not June, July, or August of any year.
So I think if we're going to be optimistic, we can hope for January of 2022. But if we're going to be realistic, it's going to be December 2022.
I think both are equally as realistic because there's been 3 dates in 3 tweets, and one of them has referenced the year 2021, the middle of December of 2021, and then the other ones have referenced January and March of 2022. So, and also it's all subject to change.
Yeah, I'm just gonna prepare myself for December of 2022, just because.
Yeah, buckle in.
If we get it earlier, it's a treat.
True. It's going to be big rewatch season in 2021, then.
Yeah, it's sad. And 2022.
Allegedly.
Yeah, I mean.
Allegedly.
We shall see.
I will say, if we are waiting that long, it better look good.
At best.
Yeah. Honestly, if you gave me 2 years, I feel like I could animate that. Like, it seems like a lot of time for, like, I don't know.
I mean,
maybe that's a little bit ignorant to say.
It's for sure a little bit ignorant to say, but you'd at least be on the right path. I mean, these people have been animating for a very long time.
You would think they could.
So if you
I think it's just purely a budget thing. Yeah.
And, I mean, the studio's spread thin because they're doing other stuff, too.
Yeah, just cancel those other shows.
True.
Who cares? That being said, the Suicide Squad trailer came out this week.
And it was pretty cool.
It was very good. I enjoyed it thoroughly. It was the best DC content we've gotten this year.
I'm excited and scared at the same time.
Yeah, I'm less scared just because there seems to be less negative variables, but I'm definitely not setting the bar too high because I know the curtain can be pulled.
The negative variables for me, what factors in, and we both really enjoyed the trailer, so we are going to talk negatives first, but we'll go into what we loved about it.
Yeah, good trailer, lots of people die.
I am just worried that a lot of these characters are so small that they might, because the big characters we really have, like big comic book characters, are Harley Quinn, Captain Boomerang, and Rick Flag, kind of.
Allegedly.
And that's really it.
I'm team kill Harley Quinn.
And that's not going to happen, so you're on the wrong page.
That's the side I'm like, I say do it. Like I say no balls pointing at DC directly. I say no balls, you won't, and I'm going to be right.
You're 100% going to be right. I think if we're saying these 4 are the mainstream comic book characters,
I can see him killing Rick Flag, though.
I can see Rick Flag and Captain Boomerang both going.
Oh, I don't want
Boomerang to die.
He's the only good part of the first movie.
Oh, 100%. I love Boomerang, and I think he's a perfect casting. I do not want him to go, but I could see them killing him.
Yeah.
But I could also see them pulling a classic Boomerang where he's with the first group, everybody else dies, and he's like, no, I'll help you, and he joins the bad guy's side. And then the second group comes, he's like, no, I'm with you guys now.
Yeah.
But I could easily see Rick Flag dying.
Yeah, I think the more likely to die than not, like you said, all the small characters, Rick Flag, Idris Elba. I think those are the
I think
notable-
Idris Elba's going to die because I don't think Idris Elba would commit to Bloodsport
Yeah.
for a long time.
Yeah.
I
Also,
think if-
based off some of the dialogue in
Yeah.
this trailer, it seems like he's going to get the emotional beat.
Yeah, it seems like he's going to get what Will Smith's Deadshot would have got had he been in this movie.
I forgot that was the thing.
It's just so weird to me that, because it's been made known that they approached him for Deadshot and he said no out of respect for Will Smith. And so this character was changed.
That's interesting.
I'm not sure how concrete it is, but I'm pretty sure he said something about saying no.
Weird. I mean, not weird for him to say no, but weird for the studio to be like, huh. Interessante.
But man, I'm so excited for John Cena.
I'm excited for Starro.
Yes,
I want to see that boy wreck some things.
And you pointed out when we watched it before this, definitely a Justice League threat. Justice League threat, the first Justice League threat.
Penultimate Justice League threat. But I think that would even be cool if at the end of the movie we get a Justice League cameo from a higher power level character. Someone that could fly in. I don't want to say Superman because that's super unlikely because of Cavill, but like maybe even like a Shazam.
Yeah.
Like obviously a very different tonal movie,
Or
but
like-
still more funny.
Black Adam.
Oh.
James Gunn could totally wrangle The Rock.
Oh,
a
for
cameo.
sure.
Without
for
a
sure.
doubt.
I mean, all he has to do is just be like, hey, look at this gym we built on set for John Cena. And then The Rock will go, is that fresh iron?
I think Ratcatcher will be an interesting character. They do seem to be focusing on her a lot, which is a very interesting character to pick.
She's the gal, right?
Yes,
That,
she is the second
that
Ratcatcher.
Idris is
Yeah.
talking to.
She's the second Ratcatcher. And my theory is that because Taika Waititi's in it, we know he's in it.
But we have no idea.
We have no idea who he is. It's everybody thought he was going to be King Shark. Confirmed Sylvester Stallone is King Shark, which is great. I'm so down for that.
Mhm.
I think Taika is either Starro, which is a hope. I don't think it's going to be realized.
Yeah.
I think he's Ratcatcher 1. I think we're going to have he's going to be a single scene.
I think he's playing Jared Leto's Joker.
Nice.
That would be so good.
Nice Hitler.
Right.
No, that's what I'm really interested in, because we haven't seen anything from him. So it must be a very small role.
I think
Very, very interesting that he was announced as a cast member.
it's
at all.
either a cameo or a twist. And I bet that they just announced it. The fact that they announced it means that it's probably a cameo, but it could be a cameo that turns into a twist.
Yes, I saw somebody theorize at one point, like since the trailer came out, that Starro, because you know how Starro uses the stars on the faces to control people, that when they do that, their voice becomes Taika's voice.
That would be funny. That would be funny. I would like that. I could also see that being less likely, though, because they want to make Starro a bit more serious.
Which is a funny sentence.
Yeah. It is. It's a kind of a bonkers character, but it works well for this because it's towing the line in
Yep.
between being like dangerously world-ending, but also I assume the situation will make sense for why they sent them in. Because we were talking and saying that they're probably being sent to this location for a different reason. You know, establishing
Yep.
a government or a terrorist group, whatever. And
then
then
Starro
Starro
appears,
gets loose or
And they're like,
appears.
oh, I'm assuming that he's being weaponized, and then something
Yeah.
happens and they let him out.
Yeah, I could see that as well. I think it would be really cool if all of them died.
So
I think it would be cool if at the end of the movie there's been a lot of casualties, they're like getting back into the
Yeah.
chopper, and then Black Adam flies into the chopper, breaks the blades off the top, and then snaps all their necks. Like not like
one by one.
yeah, one by one, but like essentially, so like grab Rick Flag, snap the neck. While
Yeah.
he's doing that, Boomerang is like chucking boomerangs. He catches a boomerang, zips over, just full Zod v Superman level powers,
Yeah.
but just in the most like throwing around ragdoll ways.
Have you watched the trailer for The Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League?
No.
So it's a new video game.
Yeah.
Like that moment where Boomerang throws the boomerang at Superman, it's like that is just like give us that in live action.
I would,
and
love
I'd be completely fine with Black Adam instead.
Yeah, because that would make sense for Black Adam, or they just fully commit to the Snyderverse and Black Suit Superman shows up, or I guess Red and Blue Nightmare Superman shows up.
This is the Nightmare universe.
Very intriguing.
Okay, so real quick, we're gonna go through this entire cast list, and we're gonna talk about who dies and who survives.
Let's do a speed run and just go dead or not dead.
Harley Quinn.
Dead. Not dead.
No,
You're
not
right.
dead.
No
Rick
balls.
Flag dead.
Dead.
Amanda Waller alive,
Alive,
obviously.
yeah.
Captain Boomerang dead. I don't want him to be dead, but I think he's gonna die.
50-50 for me.
Bloodsport
Dead.
Peacemaker.
Who's that?
Nothing.
Alive.
I think dead. I think he's gonna die, and I think the show's gonna be a prequel.
I say alive.
The Thinker.
Dead.
Dead. Javelin for sure dead.
Dead.
Without a
10
doubt.
out of 10, yeah.
Ratcatcher 2 alive.
Sure. Yep.
Savant, which is Michael Rooker's character, dead.
Michael Rooker dies in every James Bond movie.
Polka Dot Man,
Not dead.
not dead. Mongol, she's the orange one,
Dead.
dead. TDK,
Who's that?
Nathan Fillion,
Dead.
dead.
For sure. He's a cameo.
Soul Soria, don't know who she is. For some reason,
I'm gonna say dead because I've never heard of her.
yeah, I think she might be part of the military stuff.
Gotcha.
Pete Davidson dead.
Dead.
Sean Gunn is Weasel.
Maybe alive.
I think we're gonna get a fake out with him.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna think he's dead, and at the very end,
He's gonna
show
scuttle
up.
out of the gutter and be like, "Hey guys, what's up?"
And then we got Major General Mateo Suarez. You don't know who that guy
Dead.
is. Dead. President General Silvio Luna. So both of those are probably the guys in the government.
Antagonists,
Yeah, probably dead. Bloodsport's daughter alive,
Yeah.
and then the rest are just like Steve McGee and all those people who are with Amanda Waller. They're probably alive.
Yeah.
King Shark was on there. King Shark.
I say alive. Yeah.
I think he's too beloved of a character now because we're in
Yeah.
a King Shark renaissance for some reason.
Definitely. And this is interesting that they're going a different way because I say Taika would have made sense if you go
The
more
Harley Quinn
intelligent, Harley Quinn type vibe.
But yeah, they're going Beefcake.
Beefcake is cool, and we get both versions.
Yep.
You know.
And there's so many ways you can take King Shark because you can make him the dumb, like.
It would also be just cool to see some of these characters in other DC movies as like the first villain, the opening fight scene villain.
Yep.
Like in the Flash movie, like if they just have him. I mean, maybe not that movie, but like because King Shark's a Flash villain, right?
Yeah.
Or Aquaman as well.
I mean,
guess.
he's very flex. We have Flash and Aquaman. Well, we're back.
Yeah, we just took a 30-minute break to watch the season finale, the mid-season finale
I mean, whatever it is.
for Attack on Titan season 4 or season finale part 1. A lot was left to be desired.
Yeah.
A good episode, don't get me wrong, but definitely not excited for the 8 to 20 month wait that we have ahead of us.
Yeah, it just give it 20 more minutes. It's like.
That's what I was like. I didn't even bother voicing it like in the past week, but in my heart, I hoped we would get like a 40-minute episode.
Yeah.
But I knew it wasn't going to happen. That was never an option. That's never been a thing, so why would it be a thing?
I just really think to proper leave us on a good note. Let us at least see some of the action. It's spoilers for all of season 4.
All of Attack on Titan.
All of Attack on Titan, perfect.
Yeah, if you've not watched Attack on Titan, honestly, stop listening to this. Like, you should watch it, even if it's not now. Like,
eventually, I mean, I took a very long time to watch it.
Yeah, well, it's one of those shows that whether you're gonna watch it or not, you shouldn't be spoiled by it because it's not gonna mean anything unless you watch it.
Yeah.
And then if you're spoiled by it before you watch it, then it's double not gonna mean anything. So it's just not. It's probably the most don't get this spoiled for you before you see it thing. Besides like an Infinity War and even on that level. It's different because that's only 2 hours, so that's not really a commitment.
Yeah.
You can only have so many reveals in 2 hours.
That being said, I really wish because the cliffhanger that we ended on definitely felt like an episode cliffhanger.
The thing is that we are on the hook. Like it's
100%.
great. It's great from like a marketing standpoint of like, oh, I want more. Like leave the people wanting more is the famous line.
But I still would have been in the exact same boat had we seen.
Oh yeah, I don't care how they end it. I'm still gonna be waiting for the next episode. But
yeah, because like all we really got was the transformations, and then the fact that Marley was pulling up.
Yeah, it was just a lot of exposition.
Literal, a few exposition dumps.
We did also, so it ends. Let's not even explain what we're talking about because if you haven't seen the episode and you're listening to this, shame on you.
Yeah.
Boo, thumbs down. But the way it the one thing that like I had forgotten by the end of the episode is that they completely didn't touch on Zeke at all.
I mean, he just got absorbed by that belly and then was gone. And we still know nothing about Levi.
Did you think he was going to get eaten when you saw that?
Yes, I did think he was about to get eaten, but then she just pulled open her stomach and said, "You go in little pocket."
Yeah.
As you put it, the stussy.
The stussy, yes. Yeah, so who knows what's going on in that stomach.
I mean,
entrails and gizzards and whatnot.
Yeah, probably. I'm assuming some sort of regeneration process.
Yeah,
Do you know? With your reading?
I know vaguely, so I'm like a chapter or two ahead from where this episode left off. So all I know is that he's gonna live. Yeah. I don't really know what's going on in the gut, and I think also it's pretty safe to say, based off the 30 seconds we got, he's gonna live.
Yeah. I mean, I think they wouldn't show that.
That's the implication. Yeah. It would have been savage if they didn't show any of Zeke and Levi in the whole episode.
And we just saw Hanji say,
Thunderspear,
but why?
Thunderspear question mark. Yeah. Which, would make sense because they were on their way to go find. Yeah.
And then we never saw any of them again. There's a lot of questions.
Yeah, and I don't know what happened because I don't think I've seen anything more of Hanji.
So you don't know what happens to Levi?
No, I honestly think Levi's dead. Like, unfortunately, it hurts to say that, but I think it's a double flip.
Do you think he's actually dead, or do you think he's dying and we'll see him die? Or do you think they're just gonna pull up and he's gonna be dead?
I could see it getting a moment, like a Kenny
minutes.
Moment type thing, like pretty much the same exact thing. That would make sense too. That would work for the character.
I think that works for the character, and the character's important enough to warrant that, as well as closure for the fans.
I think it would, I think it's more likely we see his death, whether Hanji's there or not, but maybe it's just him dying, and then we see him, like, walk and shake hands with Erwin or something, or, like, walk over to, like, the fallen comrade, like, ghost that he sees. That would be actually really cool. Like, that'd be a good moment.
Yeah.
It would be still an unsatisfying death, because it's kind of like a bitch way to go. Not a bitch way to go out, but it's, like, not cool. Yeah. You know, it's not valiant.
And I know we've seen tons of Levi action and stuff, but, like, I'm always left wanting more, and that's such a good thing that if that was our last time, it's sad not appreciating it while it was happening.
Yeah. Well, we didn't even see him kill all those titans in the forest a couple weeks ago. Man, a lot to be thought about. I don't want to speculate anything further besides, I think let's more talk about the wrap-up. I guess there is no wrap-up because it's really not over. It's the mid-season finale. There's nothing wrapped up.
In the middle of a scene.
In the middle of a scene, yeah.
There was really nothing was closed.
No, if anything, things are just more open.
Yeah, I mean, we got Armin crying about the plan being beautiful.
Armin's such a... He can be so annoying sometimes. I don't like his voice in either, but he's a lot more bearable in the dub, I think.
Yeah.
Personally. Oh, man. Okay, so what's your theory? What do you think?
I don't know. I honestly don't.
Let's start with the short term. Like, what do you think will happen in the next few episodes? So, for everyone listening, I already said this, but I read the manga like 6 months ago, and I ended on chapter like 118 to 120, somewhere in there, which is roughly where we are now, but I'm still a little bit ahead.
I watched the show like 2 months ago. I started it and finished it. So I am definitely in a different boat because I haven't really had time to stop and speculate because I'm watching, like, as it happens. I don't know, like, because there's so many things that could happen, and this show always goes direction that I'm not expecting it to go.
Yeah.
Which is why it's so good.
That's why it's interesting. I know I just said I'm not going to speculate.
No, I would love your
I'm just going to shoot farther ahead. This is something me and Ian and me and Danny have talked about a lot, but I think one main thing is that Aaron is making himself, he is choosing to become the villain for literally everyone else to rally against, to bring together the world. Like, to bring unity between Marleyans, Eldians, honorary Marleyans. He is the villain. Make himself essentially a martyr, but in, like, a weird way, like a different way.
Yeah. Without him, there wouldn't be unity.
Yeah. Like, in the same way that, this is an extremely different example, but in the same way that the Avengers had to get together, or I should say, like, the Guardians and the Avengers and Thor and the Guardians, you know what I mean? Like, one force to rally behind. And I think, and me and Ian were talking about this, because of the scene where Aaron kicks the shit out of Armin, it's going to end with a fight with Aaron versus Armin in Titan form. And that either, no matter who wins that fight, Mikasa will be the one that kills Aaron.
For sure. I was talking to Ian about that as well, and it's a very good point that he was utilizing that moment at the table to separate himself and make it so they are
and give them their motivation.
Make it so they are okay to move on.
Yeah.
Because they know what's best.
Yeah, and it's very interesting, and it's like just classic foreshadowing, because I think even in a Titan fight, Colossal versus Attack, it would still go similar to the way it would, like, even though obviously Armin's like 5 times the size of Aaron, I could still Aaron, like, one, either just like giving himself Warhammer stilt legs, or even just fighting in the way that the Jaw Titan does, and just like climbing up and ripping and like.
Yeah, I would say in a more like parkour-esque way, but using
in Ant-Man type fashion, like in the same way that the humans fight the Titans, you know. Yeah,
using Armin's size against them.
Yes. So I think that's still going to happen, and I think so me and Ian were talking about, Ian thinks that all the stuff he said about Mikasa and the Ackermans are true. I think that that's a bluff. Well, so let me step back here. So I have had this theory since before I read the manga and before I finished season 3, that it's a time loop.
Yeah.
Whole thing's a time loop. It's not like an uncommon theory, like there's definitely other people that have thought this. But I initially thought, before I finished season 3, I thought that Eren was going to become the devil that speaks to Ymir and gives her the power. I now think it's a little bit simpler than that, because it seems that her meeting the devil is more of a fictitious spin on that story. So I think it's more so going to be either it's a time loop in the sense that he like becomes the founding Titan. And
do you think it's a time loop in a sense, not necessarily that Eren is always stuck in this cycle, or as in like it will always repeat itself no matter who it is?
I used to think it was more so it's always going to repeat itself, but Eren is the one who restarts it. But now, after season 3 and what I know about season 4, I think it's more so that the time loop is who's the first Titan? Ymir. It's Ymir creating that time loop within the founding Titan to snap back, to trap Eren in it. Yeah. So the opening of season 1, he's asleep and has those flashbacks. I think those are previous timelines where he's failed, where he has either died or people he's cared about has died. So he's given up and immediately just gets snapped back. And there's obviously plenty of pieces of evidence to point to this, whether it's the Attack Titan before Grisha referencing Mikasa and Armin, which is either him having future memories or Eren being back always within
Yeah.
the Founding Titan. And I think both of those kind of mean the same thing.
And they're close enough.
They both point to this. I think it would be more interesting if that's Eren in the head at all times, or if it's just, yeah. That being said, I can't really think of anything that goes against that, but that doesn't mean that it's correct.
Yeah.
Because it could just be happy coincidences. But I think that this is the final way, and the reason he's going full supervillain mode is because the only way
for him to succeed.
Yeah, so I think somewhere in there he's unlocked that, like, this is the only path. Oh, so what I was saying with the Ackermans. So I think the Ackermans getting those headaches, that is because their minds can't be erased by the power of the Founding Titan. That's them remembering other timelines.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So her getting a headache of, like, about Eren is because Eren's life is obviously so connected to those past timelines or past time loops. So I think all of that's interconnected somehow. And Ian was also talking about how time loops are definitely not a trope per se, but they're a bit more popular in anime and manga. Like as a fictionary tool, plot device. Which makes sense. I mean, it's a very comic book thing. So that's where it makes sense to me. Like, time travel to me has never bothered me because I'm so used to the extreme uses of fiction.
Yeah.
Like, you can't read Crisis on Infinite Earths in the 80s and then be like, Back to the Future doesn't make sense.
I mean, you watch, Endgame. Like, you watch Endgame, and then if you're okay with that, then why not in other pieces of media?
Exactly. That being said, with my theories, that's like been a year in the works almost. Because this time last year was when I first started watching Attack on Titan for the first time. So with all that being said, does that get your creative juices flowing?
I do think, because I was talking to Ian about the time loop stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's a very interesting route, and I would be satisfied if it was like that. Because that's what I'm scared of.
It brings bigger meaning to the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm scared that it's going to be a whole just anti-war, or even like I don't want it to be as simple as it could be. I think
of just like the lesson is like conflict is bad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it has the opportunity to be much bigger than that.
It can have that message, but also tell an interesting story.
And breaking the cycle of violence in a different way would be very interesting. So I think that
breaking the cycle of violence by becoming a terrorist.
Yeah, you gotta do the ultimate violence to break the cycle of violence.
Yeah, I mean, that does also present, like, that's the classic. I feel like there's always, like, a Mission Impossible villain who's like, the only way to save humanity is to end it.
I mean, Thanos.
Yeah, wow, yeah.
Straight up Thanos.
Yeah, and I guess that's why it's a relatable thing, because we can sit back and look at this fictional universe and say, what Eren is doing is messed up, but it's for a good reason and a good cause, which is dangerous because if we shine that light on ourselves, would we do the same things? No, because
they're bad.
They're bad. And also, obviously, we're not that integral to any life thing,
I mean,
theoretically.
It's very interesting. How much time has passed between the first season and now? Do you know?
I think 12 years.
Because it's a long time, and the passage of time is very.
I think he wrote it in 2008. Let me Google this.
It's so interesting.
Attack on Titan Season 1 premiere date. Okay, 2013. So almost 10 years.
So you think that it's pretty clear that he's had it planned out from start to finish the whole time, for the most part? You think there was at least an outline?
He at least had an outline. There's no way
it was all written up.
Well, there's some stuff in this season that feels a little bit convenient. For example, Zeke's powers, with like his scream and spinal fluid and stuff. Even though we did see that used in season 2, there was absolutely no explanation for it until season 4. So stuff like that is a little convenient. So I know one of Ian's biggest complaints is that he thinks it's less so of complicated writing and complex storytelling, and more so just not even giving a breadcrumb. like the withholding of information.
You withhold so much information that when you explain it, it's like, oh, you
It
had that
feels
plan.
like a twist. Yeah, which you still probably did have it planned, but
or had the concept of it at least there, and then just fleshed it out more.
Yeah, I think there's no way to not praise it for what it's doing. Like there's no way it's simple, and there's no way he's accidentally just writing this as he goes. Because so many TV shows, especially American TV shows, it's painfully obvious that it's written season to season, if not episode to episode.
Yeah, yeah, and that's why like the reveal of the cellar and stuff, like that worked so well because it was planted in your memory, episode 1.
Yeah, and there were plenty of clues leading to the fact that there was more outside the walls. So even with just season 1, it's all very well done. Now riddle me this: anime in live action is not normally a positive thing ever. Almost adaptations are frowned upon. But in a what-if perfect scenario world, what would you rather see as a viewer? Would you rather see a recreation of the series as close as possible in an episodic sense? Maybe filtered down, so instead of 26 episodes, it's like 18. Or 4 movies, 1 per season.
4 movies. I think that the production value would be higher. And I think it would be different. And I think that's important. I don't think you want to adapt a TV show to a live-action TV show. Could be... Or do a TV show would take it a different route. Like, I don't know. I feel like movies would be more just concise the story down. And then if you want more of the story, just watch the anime.
Yeah. And I also think movies, it would be easier to rally behind a larger audience or bring in a larger new audience, because you're right with the TV show that it's just going to be the same thing, and mainly the budget would be the biggest problem. Like, there's no way to get a live action budget even for half the number of episodes.
Yeah, I think if you want to do a TV show, it's got to be like 6 to 10 episodes at most for it to have a good budget for it.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. I think a movie with a theatrical release would be really cool. And it would... The only problem I have with movies is there's no way you can cut a good trailer that is spoiler-free, at least for season 1. There's no way you can't show the Attack Titan in the trailer. And I'm saying that from the eyes of a studio, not the eyes of the creator. Because I would cut the trailer with only pure Titans. I wouldn't even show the Colossal. I would maybe show destruction from the Colossal, but wouldn't show it.
Maybe just like end the trailer with like the hand of the Colossal grabbing the wall.
Yeah, I think...
So like you give him that crumb, and so fans will get it.
I would show like the explosion of him kicking the wall, but not focus in on him or his size. But yeah, like personally, if they made this movie and I was to cut the trailer, I would just use footage that is from the first 4 episodes.
Yeah, which is, I mean, you should always, when cutting trailers, always try your hardest to just do stuff from the first act.
Which studios don't do.
No, but like,
yeah,
that's where if you have the right kind of movie and you can get people in just the first act, everything past that is going to surprise them.
I think the problem with an Attack on Titan trailer is that the studio would want to flex some of the big Titan fights to grab the audience and be like, hey, this is a big action, this is big. You know, so we would probably get at least a few frames, if not a few seconds, of the female Titan and Aaron's Titan. Which, you know, if that helps bring people into the seats, then sure.
I think if you could avoid the breaking down of the wall stuff and show scenes that are completely different, like the female Titan and like Aaron's Titan, it would
kind of throw the scent off the trail.
It would still allow for that to be surprising, of the arrival of the Colossal in armor.
Interesting. Well, we don't need to dwell on that for too long, but so season 4, part 1, on a scale of 10 Titans, how many Titans do you give it?
You give it 8 Titans.
We go with that.
It was a little slow at times, but like when it was slow, we were being given information. I never felt like
There was a lot of exposition at the beginning that was necessary.
I never felt like I watched an episode and didn't come away from anything with it.
That's fair.
I was mad at the start of the season because, like, hey, I want to see the characters I
A
like.
bit confusing, yeah.
And I don't like Gabby. I still don't like Gabby.
Gabby's the worst. I kind of was hoping Peak would shoot her in this episode. But
yeah, I was sitting there like, is she gonna...
my problem is that I think Gabby is like kind of this season, it's like meant to be half audience surrogate, half a metaphor. Like very, very obviously. But I am very concerned. I really don't want Gabby to play a pivotal role in any of the final moments. And I'm afraid...
I think she's gonna.
I'm afraid she will. I just don't want her to be a big decision maker. I'm okay if she's there.
The hard part is, it is the hardest thing when you introduce new characters in the final season of something. We want to pay attention. We want the final moments to be with characters that we spent so much time with. We want Eren, we want Armin, we want Mikasa, all the rest of them. Whereas these new characters that were introduced, yeah, they can be there, but they shouldn't be the focus. Like, it's the exact same with Endgame.
I think the only characters that are going to survive are the new characters and Armin and Mikasa. I think everyone else is dying.
Yeah, that'll be sad.
I would not be surprised if they all either get, like, gruesome, like, valiant deaths in battle, or I wouldn't be surprised if we get more shenanigans with Zeke's spinal fluid. Like, in addition to who's already taken it, whether that's, like, a gas bomb or, like, a new power or something, or, like, Needles, the classic.
Classic. Needles.
Gross. Yeah, dude, I bet the Marleyan government would just tell them it's a vaccination, and then... Maybe we should bleep out vaccination, just so we don't get taken down for fake news. But put a needle emoji on the so people know what I'm saying. That was a joke. I'm pro-vaccination.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll be back in 8 months to talk about...
Yeah, no more episodes for 8 months.
We will be on a hiatus as long as Attack on Titan is on a hiatus. So, see you then.
Good night.